Good morning. We have breakfast. As you can see, I have my usual bananas, 2 papayas on top, got some pumpkin seeds or pepitas. Petunia does not like pumpkin seeds, not one bit. And then I have some of this fruit here. It's white on the inside and red on the outside. It's called mountain apple. It's a very old kind of fruit. It was one of the first fruits that Hawaiians brought with them here when they came and settled in Hawaii. I guess they weren't Hawaiians at that point, Polynesians. It has a very subtle sweet flavor. Almost like a little bit astringent. Tastes really floral. Today I wanted to address some comments that I've been getting for the last 6 months. And the comments I've been getting a lot is, oh my gosh, Lily, you're losing so much weight. Are you healthy? Oh my God. So have I lost weight in the last year or 6 months? Yeah, I have, a little bit, a very small amount. But I think the main thing that has changed is my camera equipment. So I now shoot on wider angle lenses. I have a proper DSLR camera. It's, much fancier, and I can switch out the lenses. So the wider the lens, as long as I'm in the middle of the shot like I am now, it makes me look thinner and skinnier than other cameras do. Now, I know that they always say that, the camera adds 10 pounds, and I kind of feel like that's true, because I'll look at myself in the mirror and I'll see one thing, and then I'll see a picture of myself, and, and part of that is in my brain, it's just being hyper judgmental and a little bit of body dysmorphia that I just can't seem to kick. But the point is that there can be a wide variation in the way that my body looks based on the lens with which I'm shooting videos. Now, I have been losing weight. I've been losing weight for 4 or 5 years now. Once I started to get the my binging and purging under control, it was around that time that my weight really shot up. I got to my highest weight, more than 150 pounds. I stopped weighing myself. I couldn't. And then very, very slowly started losing weight. When I got to Hawaii, I was about 140 pounds, and that was a little over 4 years ago. And then it's just been a very slow and steady process. Once I started the YouTube channel, I was at about maybe 120 or 125 pounds. Still just very slowly losing weight, maybe half a pound a month or so on average. There are sometimes when I plateau or gain a little bit, and then, and then it drops off faster for whatever reason. But the weight loss, it's still continuing. It's still very slow, still averaging half a pound a month, maybe. And my weight is also very dependent on how much I've eaten and how much I've hydrated that day. I can get on the scale now and be 125 pounds and I'm not surprised. I can get on the scale and I can be 114 pounds and I'm not surprised. My weight literally fluctuates that much on a daily basis. What I have noticed with my body, especially since I started the weightlifting, is that the composition of my body is changing more than the actual weight on the scale. So I have noticed that I'm much more muscular, especially in my lower body, than I used to be. And, muscle weighs more than fat, as we all know. So as I've been getting more muscular, that's been, adding to the weight. And I feel leaner than I think I've ever been in my life since I was a kid. And that trend is what's continuing. My body is just slowly leaning out. I'm getting more muscle definition in my arms. I can see my veins from doing massage in my arms more. My abs, I almost can see them. And so I'm not purposefully trying to lose weight. I'm definitely not restricting my calories, although I've talked about this in videos. I'm eating less than I used to, just because that's what I feel like doing. Like, I don't feel like consuming a huge amount of food like I used to feel driven to back in the day. And so I'm gonna let my body do that and work itself out. And I feel like I've gotten to such a great place with my diet where I'm just like, I'm consistent and I'm on a good roll, and I got my food sourcing worked out. So I always have access to what I want and what I need, and I figured out a way to be able to afford that. I found the right suppliers, you know? So I just wanted to address that, like, yes, my weight loss continues. I don't know when it will stop, but I mean, it's not intentional. I'm not doing it because I feel like I need to be skinnier. It's literally just happening. Like, my body is just, it's just getting healthier and healthier. And I'm not saying that, like, skinnier is healthier. I'm just saying that I feel the best that I've ever felt in my whole life. And this is just what my body happens to look like. And I think I've gotten to a point where my body can actually trust me, you know, after 12 plus years of dieting and eating disorders and restriction and all of that. Now it's been 3 or 4 years where I've just been eating really well, and I've been feeding myself and letting myself rest and exercising when I feel like exercising. And my body trusts that that's going to keep happening, that I'm going to continue to be provided for. And so I think it can let go of that extra weight without feeling like we need to hold on to it for the next period of starvation. And I'm just really thankful that I did it this way. You know, if I had tried to rush myself to this point where I can, like, oh, I can see my collarbones really nicely, if I had been fixated on that and tried to speed up my weight loss in order to get to that point, I think it would have backfired. I think I would have ended up with more restriction and more eating disorders and more personal turmoil and pain, and I couldn't do that anymore. So I'm so happy that at my heaviest, I finally just gifted myself peace with my body. Like, we just had a truce. And I accepted myself at my heaviest, and I said, well, if this is gonna be us, this is gonna be us. Let's just freaking enjoy it. No matter what, let's enjoy it. And me being able to relax into that enjoyment was what allowed me the space to address the psychological issues that were pushing me to consume and consume and consume and binge and then purge and wrap up all of my self-worth in my body image. But I got to break that cycle, and I got to have, you know, 5 years to lose 40 pounds, and it probably could have been faster, you know, if I hadn't had so much psychological stuff going on, or if I hadn't just starved my body for so long. I'm glad it happened the way it has, and I've been loving my body every day. Well, maybe not every day, because I've still woken up and looked at those Instagram pictures and been like, why not me? You know, why couldn't that be me? Why couldn't my body just be shaped like that? And why did I have to have the childhood that I have? And why did I have to blah, 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 blah? You know, I get wrapped up in that shit sometimes still, too. But the faster that I've been able to return back to center and return back to just accepting myself and accepting my body shape, accepting my bones and my muscles and my fat, the happier I've been, right? And the happier I am, the more I'm enjoying my life, the more my life is about my life instead of about food and focusing and fixating on food, which creates my eating disorder. And the faster I've been able to remind myself that my worth is not in my body's shape, my worth is not in whether or not my body looks like, you know, girls on magazine covers. My worth is not about whether or not the majority of men on this planet find me sexually attractive. All of that is superfluous. And knowing that is a gift to yourself. Like, it's a gift to myself every day. And I'm really thankful that I've been able to go through this process in the way that I have. Oh, and I have lilykoi as well. Of course, I forget about my namesake, the passion fruit. Okay, so I guess that's been thoroughly addressed now. I'm gonna eat this. I have lots of editing work to do, lots of shooting I have to do on this dreary day. Lots of cuddling.
I'm Fiji, come. Come, Becky. Come. Oh! God damn.
Okay, so I'll see you guys later for lunch. Okay, so it's lunchtime. I'm just gonna have something super simple. It's some leftovers from last night. So I made a nice, really simple dal type of dish with just some split peas, and then I had a ton of collard greens. So I just threw all of that inside the Instant Pot. It cooked up really nicely with the pressure cooker feature, and then have a huge russet potato in there, a little bit of avocado, and then some leftover curried French fries. We made that last night. It's a little variation of a recipe I found on the plant meal planner, which I'll link down below. And we made that with our little countertop convection stove. All of that stuff I talked about in my June favorites video, so feel free to stop by and watch that if you want to get some details. And these are really yummy. I just finished editing and shooting for the day, so I'm just gonna go chill now because my brain it doesn't want to work anymore. So I will see you guys for dinner. Alright, so it is dinner time. We just have something really simple. I took the leftovers from the dal and collard greens that I made last night. It had some Indian spices in it. And I have a little bit of that. I have brown rice, a bit of avocado, and some salad that Levi made, and it's really good. And then I just blended up the dal and made like a nice warm creamy soup. That's what I wanted. And then you pretty much have that along with
some French bread that I put in the air fryer for a little while. And that's pretty much it.
Okay, we're just gonna chill. I'm feeling pretty tired. I've been staring at the computer all day. 2 days in a row.
I went swimming. I read my book at the beach. Then I went swimming again.
Somebody got laid off from work.
Read my book at the beach. Went for a 2-mile run. It was awesome, dude. I love getting laid off of work. It's the best thing. Tomorrow I'm going surfing first thing in the morning before the sun comes up.
Okay, so that is everything that I ate in an entire day. If you want to stay up to date with my videos, make sure you are subscribed and ding the little bell so that you'll be notified when I upload new videos. Until next time, make better choices for yourselves and take really, really good care. I will see you all very, very soon. Bye.
Bye.